Hey, good evening, everybody, or afternoon, wherever you are. I'm here with my friend Jamie, and we'll be doing a show and tell of how to do energy healing. It's something that everybody should learn. This is a way you can help others, and everybody has the divine energy coming through them, even though sometimes we don't realize that. But the first thing you want to do is you always put your hands together, both you and the recipient. And to myself, I always say, the atmosphere around this is purified by the divine. The atmosphere around us is purified by the divine. And the divine energy descends upon us, and we are purified and blessed. Then you begin the healing process. Uh, it's basically you go through all the chakras, which I'll do. It's usually at least, once you do, right, then you can rest your hands. Yeah. And then you begin at the third eye chakra, because that kind of turns on the light so the energy could flow through. I'm going to talk as when you do the healing session, it's better that you're quiet and don't talk, but it's possible that you could talk because the energy is still coming through you. It's divine energy from the universe. What you do is connect to the divine energy, the absolute space, God, or whatever you call, Jesus, any name, any spiritual, whoever you want to call, but it's the very beginning, past all the saints of all religions and all the gods. It's the absolute space before creation. Then there's some spiritual cord that comes down, comes down, comes down to the universes, to our universe, and it comes through the sun, and the sun has two black holes, north node is Rahu, and south node is Ketu. And this spiritual cord comes down, and then you get it to come through your top of your head, and it comes through into you and out your arm to help the person. What you want to do is use the hand that you normally help, or if you're right-handed, you want to use your right hand. Oh, what happened? Did it stop? I think it stopped. Oh no, it's still going on. Okay, we'll have to go ahead.
Sampling.
We'll have to edit
Can
it.
you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So the divine energy comes through you and out your arm. And when the energy comes out your arm, it's divine energy from love, energy from your heart, and the energy from the universe, which is unconditional love, comes through you and out your arm to help the person. It doesn't really matter where there are pains or aches or anything. The energy is like a river and it'll flow through where it needs to go. So that's why you focus on the energy centers, which are the chakras. And a lot of times you'll be able to feel where the energy is going, because you'll feel pain when you get to each of the chakras. You'll feel there's pain. And the thing with the energy healer, you want to make sure that you can fine tune your hand to be able to get wherever the problem is. It's like a magnifying glass. You have this magnifying glass, and you're fine tuning where the energy is, and you'll come up to a spot that, oh, that's painful, or oh, that's hot, or oh, that's cold. You'll be sensitive in your hand after many years of practice. I mean, I've been practicing for over 30 years. So at the beginning you might not feel very much, but usually the recipient feels a lot. Even though you're a beginner, they feel it. And you just continue, sending them divine love. I always say to myself, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine. So the whole time I'm healing, I'm just saying, be blessed by the divine. You don't focus like if there's, oh, I have this or this, that problem. You don't need to focus on it. But if they really want you to focus on something, after you open the third eye, then you can focus on wherever they have their pain or tumor or whatever they have. But it's best just to let the energy flow where it needs to go. Then we'll move to the next chakra, which is the third. After you feel like a little bit of sensation, a lot of times people will have a headache and you might want to stay there because you feel, oh no, that something's wrong, the brain hurts or some kind of, it's usually spiritual stuff that bothers people mostly because the spiritual precedes the physical. So everything that happens to us happens from the spiritual realm. That's the spiritual that's outside here, and then it comes to the mental and then the physical body. So what's happening to people that they get spiritual clouds on their physical body or on their mental body. And these spiritual clouds are like little black orbs, and they kind of accumulate on different parts of your body. And where those orbs come from, I don't know, but supposedly it comes from ancestors or karmic things that happened to us in the past, or karmic things that we created or the ancestors created. But what this light does, it goes to that little orb and it fills it up with light, and then that orb just pops right off, like, and pops off. And one by one, those orbs will pop off, and the person will feel lighter and much better. And once the spiritual is healed, then it'll go to the mental orbs that are on there, and the mental orbs will also pop off. Then lastly, it takes the physical orbs and pops those off. And then the person is lighter and healed. Okay, now we're going to go to the throat chakra, which is where the Adam's apple would be, and focus the energy here. Like I feel more in Jamie's throat than I did at the third eye. It's like more maybe thyroid. Doesn't mean that thyroid has a problem. It's just that more of the energy is stuck here in her throat. Spiritual, physical, mental, nobody knows. I don't know, but I'm sure there's some way to know, but I don't know. And the whole time you keep thinking, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine. A lot of times traumas that happen in the past, they will be in your throat because you just want to scream or say something, so they'll be in your throat chakra. Sometimes the pain's not just in your hand, like I have pain here, but it goes deeper, like it goes up to your shoulder. When it goes up to your shoulder, it's ancestors, like Jamie's is ancestors. It's deep. It's not something that she created, it's ancestors. But one by one, those little orbs will come off. And you stay at that chakra until you feel it a little bit melting, like getting a little bit less. That's what it means by melting. The orbs are coming off. You feel it a little bit less clouded. We call them spiritual clouds. It's less clouded. My husband used to say, it's like fishing. Once you catch something, you want to stay there and get rid of them all. But sometimes it'll be hours and you'll still be on the same chakra. And you want to kind of do a maintenance on them, just like a little bit of everything. But always keep coming back to them. I mean, have them come back and not just receive one healing, come as often as you can. I mean, I received healing every single day for like the past 30 years. It's very, very good for you and just gets rid of all that yuck. How I found the spiritual healing over 30 years ago, 35 years ago, I was given only 2 months to live. I had a big tumor that opened up, untied my umbilical cord, and I had an infection in my navel. And the tumor was so big it stuck out like a grapefruit. And the doctor says, meet me in the ER. And I says, no, I'm not going there. And actually, I had Blue Cross. No, I had Blue Shield. And I just received a payment stub in the mail saying your Blue Shield is dead. I'm like, well, why should I pay this if I'm going to be dead in 2 months? And why should I pay when it's 6 months? And I called them. I go, can I just pay for 2 months? And they go, no, because after 2 months, if you decide you want to have more insurance and you didn't die, we won't be able to give it to you again, because now it will be a pre-existing illness if you want to get it again. But I canceled it. I go, I don't want to die. I'm not going to pay this, and I don't care if I die. But then my doctor says, you better learn meditation, and you better become at peace with this, because you're going to die. And I said, okay, that will be. And then he said I had severe anemia. He says, you were on heavy antibiotics for a whole year, and you're not recovering. You're just getting worse and worse. And I says, well, thanks for all your help, but I'll go meditate. Then I found a guru. Actually, at Santa Monica College, I found a meditation teacher. And when I was in the classroom, I was meditating with the group, and then all of a sudden, when he told us to open our eyes, I opened my eyes, and my teacher had a halo on his head. I'm like, I thought it was some kind of magic trip, like a rainbow halo on his head. I'm like, what the heck? I said, how'd you get that on your head? He's like, what, do I have a frog on my head? I said, no, how'd you get the halo? And all the class was laughing like I was crazy. Go, what do you mean? I'm like, the halo, don't you guys see that? I'm like, what are you talking about? And my teacher's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you have a halo. And he was amazed that I could see that, and thought I was crazy, and the whole class thought I was crazy. But when he walked around everywhere, that halo was on his head. But I learned meditation from him. Then I got meditation from this other old guru from India, Vedatri Maharishi. And he taught me meditation. And we'll move down to the next chakra. And then we get to the chakra at the navel. This is the solar plexus. The meditation teacher from India, he looked at my palm and he goes, your doctor's telling you the truth. You only have a couple months. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I was just crying. I'm like, I thought you could help me. I thought you could help me. And he says, well, I can. He goes, but you have to do everything I tell you to. Like, just tell me, I'll do what I promise. He goes, well, take a photocopy of your hand today, and take a photo. It was back then, it was Xerox. Take a Xerox copy of your hand 10 years from now. I'm just crying with Jerry. What do you mean I can live for 10 years? And he says, yes, you can. But you have to follow exactly what I say. I'm like, tell me, I'll do it. I do what I promise. And then I got initiated, and he opened up all my chakras. And then I learned astral travel, because I was still worried that I was going to die, And when he told me, don't worry, I'll hold you like a baby, and I'll teach you astral travel, so you don't have to be scared. So when I was lying on the floor there, he said, okay, get up. There's a meditation. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I sat up, and he lifted me up, and actually he lifted me up higher than my body. And he goes, now turn around. And I saw my body. I'm like, oh my goodness. But then I saw all the other recipients of the classroom that were out of body too. I'm like, oh wow. And I saw people that even were not in my classroom. Like, there were other people there. Like actually, there was a guy. I don't know if you all heard it, Sadhguru. He was in that classroom. Like, what's he doing here? And Swamiji's, he's peeking Tom. I'm like, oh my goodness. It's kind of made me scared. But there were other people there. It was not just Sadhguru. Other people were there. And then we all went back into our bodies. And it was like, okay, I'm not scared. But then he says, when you go astral travel, you can only go to holy places. You can't go playing peeking Tom or seeing who's doing what in their bedroom or what the lotto is or what the stock market's doing or what's the stockbrokers meeting is all about. You can't do any of that stuff, or it creates spiritual clouds on you. And you have more karma. Who's going to help you with that karma? Like, you don't want to do that. So, actually, one time I didn't listen to him. And because my friend, and he was also, a good friend of mine from the Swami. He says, my parents are doing this arranged marriage and I don't want to do it. Come help me in India. I'm like, okay, I'll come help you. So I went out of body and went down to India. I was trying to bring energy so he'd be protected, so that family can't make him get married. But Swamiji came right into my, and he says, what the hell are you doing here? And I said, I'm so sorry. And I woke up from my bed. I'm like, I'm sorry. I went to India. I'm sorry. And I said, I promise I won't do anything like that again. I promise. I'm so sorry. I know you said 99.9% of the people are going to do the wrong thing. And I did the wrong thing. I mean, I didn't think it was hurting anybody by help protect somebody, but you can't even do that. You can't protect anybody because whatever karmic things they have to go through, they have to go through. It's none of your business. You can help them just with energy healing like this, where you're not interfering with anything in their life. You're just getting the bubble, that black clouds off of people. So, how I figured out how to do this, somebody says, okay, now in your meditation, because I said, well, how can I help people if I only have a couple months or 10 years? I would like to help people get out of their mess that they're in, like the mess I was in. Now you helped me get through this. He goes, yeah, just put a note in your hand after you do your meditation, wake up and look at the note and say, what do I do to help others? Then I saw myself sitting like this with my hand like this, and I go, Swami, do you know what this is? And he says, no, I don't know what that is. I said, you never saw that? And he goes, no. And I said, I don't know what it is. Then one of the Swami's friends says, oh, I know what that is. And he said, this is Joray. I'm like, wow, how did I learn that? And then he said they can help you. So I went to this place in Koreatown, and that's where I saw a bright light. This old lady, I call her Nagai. She was the minister there. She was, they call it channeling the light. She was passing light around to the whole audience. We call it group Joray. And I could see the light so bright. I kind of got scared and I backed out. And I'm like, oh no, that's scary. But the light was very strong. And within a couple weeks, my navel cleared up. The infection completely went away. My tumor was shrinking. In 1 year, it's like gone. I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. I said, I really want to learn and be helping to others. And then I used to go there every day because I brought a lady that was doing chemo. I said, I'll take you to chemo, but I also take you to Joray every day. You have to do healing every day. So I took her to healing every day, and we received healing every day for like the whole year. And then I ended up after a year marrying the minister that helped me. He was from Japan, Makoto Suzuki. He was from the Sacred Grounds. He was a very, very good teacher, and I was able to receive Joray from him every day, and I recovered completely. So I would recommend everybody learning this technique. Even if you look at my testimonies under Marlene Suzuki on YouTube, you'll see a bunch of people got cured of healing with this healing energy. Even pancreatic cancer. I mean, the president of pancreatic cancer came to our house, and they tried to get Steve Jobs and Aretha Franklin to come to our house. The top 1% people were coming to our house. This healing works. Like, even if you don't believe in it, this one attorney, a real top attorney from Beverly Hills, he was in the hospital on his deathbed. And all of his family came in because they were supposed to be doing a celebration of life for him. And I said, you know, you guys are all just looking at him. Please put your hand up. They go, oh, we're Catholic, we're this, we're that. I'm like, I don't care what you are. You're looking at him and you're in the room with him all day long watching him die. Can you just do this for me? Do it for him, you know. It doesn't hurt you, doesn't hurt anybody. So there was like, you know, at least 10 people in the room, and they were all giving him healing for a couple of days. And he tells me, he goes, this strange thing, the doctor did a test on him the next day and says, you know, I don't know what happened. You know, you're not going to die. You know, the test showed that you don't even have cancer. We don't know what's wrong. You know, what's wrong with the machine? And they said, we better do another test. They did another blood test, and the test came out the same. You know, it seems like you're cured. Your numbers are amazing. They're back to normal. And he got out of the hospital from there. So healing works. So after you do the front side on the person, you ask them to turn around, and you have them turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah. If you want to turn the chair around, you can. Hold on one sec. We're just turning the chair around.
I go like this. Or
Okay.
like this.
Okay. That's good. Hold on one second. Okay. And then you put your hands together and say, Divine Energy, be with me. And then let's see, what time is it? How long has this been? Okay, it's only been 20 minutes. Then the next one, you stand and do the top of their head. This is Terdia. This is the Divine Energy will go through their head. You know, it's strange is I'm also a Kundalini master, and I would always do this when we initiate people into meditation. I've been a Kundalini master for about 40 years. And a healer for 30 years. And you don't want to touch people because whatever they have, it could go on to you. Like if they have a disease, you get it on you because we're biomagnetic energy around our bodies. And if you touch, sometimes the magnets get stuck together and you can't get it off. Even if you tap the floor or try to rub your hands or wash your hands, that energy gets stuck on you. So you don't want to touch people when you do healing. I do Reiki too, but I don't want to do Reiki because it's touch. It's a lot of touch. And my old Swami back then, it says, you know, you don't want to touch people. By the way, I have a new Swami, Swami Advaitanath Giri, who's putting on this event here today. He's the best. He's in Santa Monica too, so you can all come to his center in Santa Monica. It's in the Promenade. When somebody told me actually how I found my new Swami, I went to an Indian restaurant, Samosa House, and I was admiring their altar because they have an altar and their candle was not going out. I'm like, how could the candle was so small. It was just a little ball of ghee, hardened ghee, with a cotton wick in it. And the whole time we were eating, the candle just kept burning and burning. He goes, oh yeah, they burn about 4 hours. I'm like, that little ball of ghee? And he said, yeah. And I said, oh wow. And I said, you know, we have an altar at the house. I used to have one for my Swami, but he passed away. And they go, oh, are you looking for a new Swami? And I said, yeah, I am actually. He goes, there's one in Santa Monica. I go, there's no Swami in Santa Monica. I live in Santa Monica. I know there's no Swami there. He goes, yep, there is. And he goes, let me ask my son. I'll find out where he is. And he asked his son, and he gave me the address. And I've been going there every day since. I'm so happy I found him. Actually, he was Swami up in the mountains in the Himalayas. He was in the mountains for 30 years, approximately 30 years. And then they let him out and come to Los Angeles. That's where he goes crazy here. You should see his videos. Woo! And you should come to the kirtan there. It's really, really fun. Everybody dances around to the music. Everybody plays instruments there. We have extra instruments for everybody. It's fun. Then we have really deep meditations. His meditations are so deep, you almost go out of body when you're doing them. Sometimes you move your hand around a little bit just trying to find the spot that has, not your head, my hand. You move the hand around to find the spot that needs it. And you feel heat coming out, like a lot of heat. That's it. It's really incredible technique to help others. Um, After learning this, I haven't been back to the doctors. It's been a little over 30 years. After I canceled my insurance and said goodbye to the doctors, I never went back. Even when I had a heart attack, I still didn't go back. I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to die today, I'll die. I just laid there at home, and the healers came and they all gave me healing until 9 o'clock at night, and I came back. Like, I was out for like 5 hours. But the thing is, even though they couldn't feel a pulse or see me breathing or feel me breathing, I really was. But I was like, I have 2 tortoises, and they go to sleep in the garage for like 6 months in a small little shoebox. They sleep, and they don't eat or pee or do nothing. That's what the state is, like almost a hibernation that you go in when you die. But I guess machinery might be able to find that you're still breathing, but your breath is so slow. It's like one breath every, I don't know, half hour. It's not very much. It's like you're so shallow that I don't think anybody could even know that you're still alive. Then from the top of the head, you do the back of their head. I learned the healing from the best. Makoto Suzuki was the best healer. And now I have the old lady. I'm trying to get her to stay with me. She's 98 years old, the minister. She's that's the one that I saw the bright light when I first came to the church. I've been bringing her to my house. I'm trying to get her to live with me because I want her to die with the light, not in the darkness at that home she's at. Yeah.
Break.
You need a break?
Break this. I'm sweating.
You're sweaty?
Yeah.
So it's bringing heat?
Yeah. Try something lighter to wear.
Hold on.
Can you pause?
Hold on. See if I could pause this.
Oh no, my cheese boiling.